Okay, so my name is Paul Duncan and I love to travel. I'm from Canada, northern Canada, north of Calgary, if you know where that is. And I originally started out as an automotive mechanic. So after high school, I went into learning how to be a mechanic and fix cars. But what happened was I slowly started to learn more and more about that trade, and I realized that I was unhappy doing that, and I knew that my passion lied around adventure, traveling, and just doing really cool things like that. So I had to look for something different. Now what happened was I knew I wanted to travel, I knew I was unhappy as a mechanic, but the difference was I didn't want to just quit my really high paying job and go be a backpacker who has to really budget their money and be careful and then end up running out of money and having to come back home and keep working again. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to quit my job, go traveling, and never work again. So I had some big goals there, and what I ended up doing was I ended up finding a vehicle that helped me do that, which was real estate. So I ended up learning about this this education course that I went to at a hotel one time, and they taught me that I could buy real estate, make cash flow, make income, and use that to go traveling around the world. So when I heard that, it completely changed my life. And I spent a couple years doing that, buying some real estate, making some income that I made, whether I gave up my time or not. And when I had enough income to be able to go traveling and live comfortably doing that, I quit my job, booked 2 tickets to Hong Kong, and went traveling around the world for a long time.
So what's the one thing that you can't travel without?
Oh man, that's a good question. There's probably a lot of things, but I think the #1 main thing is my camera. And I could say more, or not my camera, my phone. I could say my camera and all the camera equipment and stuff, but if there was one thing and one thing only, it would be my phone. And the reason is because I'm a photography and a videography nerd, and my phone is all of that, and I can't live without that because I just love to film and take pictures.
Okay, do you prefer solo travel or with somebody else?
Oh, definitely with someone else. I mean, honestly, I've never traveled all by myself, so I don't know, I don't have the experience for that, but traveling with people is so much more fun because you both have your needs and wants, and it pushes you each other to do more things and get out there and kind of meet new people, do more activities, and just, yeah, make things happen that way.
What home comfort do you miss the most?
Okay, this is a really tough one because I can handle not being comfortable and being okay with it, but I know after a while, a long time of traveling, it starts to creep in on me, which is like having that comfort of having everything in your place, you know, your kitchen, all your stuff in your bathroom, your clothes all organized, just having that home comfort of that familiarity with everything, of your things and having everything in their place. And you know, as a backpacker, you pretty much have your life inside of a backpack, and that's pretty much it. But you know, that doesn't bug me until, you know, after a while. So yeah, that's it.
Right on. What has been the most interesting item of food you've tasted?
You know, I can't pinpoint one specific thing, but I can tell you that Chinese people eat some pretty interesting things. And anyone who knows me knows I'm super picky about my food, so I don't remember specifically eating those crazy things, but I can tell you, seeing a fish split down the middle and just opened up with everything ready to go, and that's your meal, is pretty freaking weird. And that would be the most interesting thing I've seen, and I haven't actually eaten it, but I'm super picky, so.
Would you consider it a repressed memory?
Yeah, definitely.
So what's your most embarrassing moment?
Oh my god. What's my most embarrassing moment?
Yeah.
Every single day of my life? I don't know if this would be embarrassing or really cool and fun at the same time, but having New Year's in Melbourne, Australia, getting on the train and heading towards the downtown of the city, acting like a bunch of drunk Canadians in front of a bunch of, you know, Australians who actually live in Melbourne was the funniest thing ever, but maybe a bit embarrassing because when I look back on the video footage from it, it was pretty ridiculous. So what happened was it was New Year's, we did some pre-drinking at our Airbnb place or whatever, our place we were renting, and the house was just filled with a bunch of Canadians, so that was cool. And we got drunk, got on the train, and started heading towards downtown for the fireworks and the show and all that kind of stuff. And we ended up just being ridiculous, getting the whole train to get excited and amped up because everyone was just chill, sitting in their seats quietly. And we're like, no, that can't happen. So we started chanting and like standing in the middle of the row and getting everyone riled up and stuff. And I'm sure the Australians were like, who the frick are these Canadians acting like idiots? But it was pretty fun. So, yeah.
Do you think they maybe felt a little bit competitive?
Competitive?
Well, Australians are known to be just as obnoxious when they drink. So.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. You know what?
So maybe they fully embraced your random outbursts.
Yeah, some of them were super weird and awkward about it and just sat there quietly, and then some of them started like getting obnoxious with us. And the closer we got to the inner city, every single stop, new people came on, and it seemed like more obnoxious people came on the train as we got in. So, yeah.
Awesome. So what's one thing that you've brought with you that you've never used?
Here's the thing. When it comes to packing, and anyone who knows me, I nerd out when it comes to packing my backpack. So I take only what's absolutely necessary and nothing more. So my backpack is probably the lightest and the smallest of most backpackers, at least females. And I don't think I brought too many things that I really didn't use. All I brought was like the bare necessities of clothes, just enough to last maybe a week. My camera equipment so I could make videos and photography, and just like, yeah, my extra battery packs, chargers, just things like that. And that's really, and my laptop, like that's all I needed. So I don't think there was anything that I brought that like I was like, oh, maybe I'll use this, but I'm not sure. Like those kind of things I just didn't bring with me. And I tried to keep all the extra things in digital format, like on my phone. So if it was a book, I didn't bring a book with me. I had a book on my phone in an ebook form. So yeah, for me, it was really about packing, like putting a lot of thought into planning my backpack and making sure I only brought enough to live on.
Okay. What's the best and the worst piece of travel advice you've ever received?
I'd say the best piece of travel advice that I got was when I was working a job, and just before I quit my job to go traveling, someone at work was like, just go fucking do it. Just quit your job and figure it out when you get there if you have enough money. Because I was kind of in analysis paralysis, thinking like, oh, I should just wait, make sure I have more money, and just kind of waiting to quit my job. And then someone at work who also loves traveling was just like, man, just quit your job, figure it out when you get there. If you need more money, you can like, you know, go get a job when you get there. And it kind of put that buffer there, like, oh, you know what? I can quit my job, and if I need to figure it out when I'm there, I can figure it out when I'm there. And that really pushed me over the edge of going, okay, I need to book a flight, I need to put in my notice to quit and just do this and then figure it out. So that was the best piece of travel advice I got, because if they didn't tell me that, I probably never would have quit my job and I never would have started the traveling. Yeah. And the worst piece of travel advice? Okay, well, I don't know if this counts as travel advice, but being in Brisbane, Australia, hanging out with drunk people and listening to them go, oh man, I got this super cool bar to go to, and trust me, they'll let us in, it's all good. I got hookups and deals. Go follow this person for like all night long for like 6 hours or something, and they ended up just ditching us and not helping us out at all, and we didn't do anything with our night. So basically you're saying the worst piece of travel advice you've ever received is don't listen to drunk people. Pretty much.
Or sorry, listen to drunk people. That's the worst piece.
Yeah, or don't listen to drunk people.
Well, that's what you should do, but the advice you received is, oh, listen to me.
Yeah, exactly.
But you took the advice from a drunk person.
Yeah, exactly.
Seems fair. What's your top travel tip? Okay, what's your top travel tip?
Okay, this is my favorite one because I nerd out with packing, right? So my top travel tip would be there's these bags that you can buy, and you can stuff all your clothes in them, and you can tighten them up and like kind of get all the air out of it, and it compresses your clothes so that you can fit everything in your backpack that you want. My top travel tip would be to find these little packing bags and use them to pack your clothes with, because it allows you to have a smaller backpack and put more in it.
And what's the longest you've been away from home?
Longest I've been away from home? So the longest time that I've been away from home traveling would be 7 months.
How much stuff have you lost?
Lost?
Yeah.
Well, fingers crossed, nothing expensive. Only things I've lost is a couple clothes here and there, t-shirts, shorts, that sort of thing. So I keep really good track of my electronics because they're my life, and everything else is whatever. So, yeah.
Right on. What has surprised you about yourself?
I don't know. I think something that surprised me is like being able to like chill out and stay calm in situations where you like don't know how things work. Because when you go to travel to a different country, whether you're at the airport or you're trying to find the direction and you can't read any of the signs, and you're just you have to figure it out all by yourself because you've never been in that environment before. I think my thing that surprised me is like being able to stay calm, chill out, you know, no big deal, and just kind of figure it out as I go and just work through the problem of trying to get to a destination or something without any help. Yeah, my biggest thing that surprised me is like I can stay calm in those situations and just work through the problem, and that's definitely something you need to do if you're going to be traveling.
Okay, so strict schedule or go with the flow?
Oh, this is a good one, and I think this one requires balance for both, because when you like I travel as like my I make an income while I'm traveling, so it's like sometimes I need to have that balance where I need to wake up at a certain time, I need to do my morning routine, my morning workout, get a certain amount of work done every single day, but then also I just like to chill out and go to the beach, do different things. So how I've kind of structured this and thought about this from my own head is when you're doing traveling for like long term and doing for a long period of time, treat it like you have a job schedule. So in a job you work Monday to Friday, and then you take a couple days to chill out and do whatever the heck you want. And I think it needs to be the same way where, especially if you're making an income while you're traveling, it's important to spend a certain amount of days focusing on a strict schedule, getting work done, doing the things that you need to do, and then taking a few days to just let loose, do whatever the heck you want, and just do random stuff, go explore, go adventure, go hang out, get drunk, all that stuff. So you get kind of a balance of both, and you just gotta figure out what timelines work best for you on that. For me, it's closely following the Monday to Friday schedule.
Okay. And what kind of music did you discover during your travels?
I think like since I started, I used to listen to like a lot of like indie alternative kind of music, and since I started traveling, for some reason I started getting into more like EDM, like electronic kind of music for some reason, and now that's a lot of what I listen to.
All right. What's the best street food you've had?
Street food?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Street food, epic. Out of any city, honestly, when we just came back from Miami, and there was like food trucks everywhere, and they had some epic street food, like Mexican, like European food, I don't know, like everything, and it was super good, like super good cooked, like the cooks were super good, and yeah, it would be Miami, would be, especially around the Mexican type of food.
Do you think you'll stay friends with the people that you've met?
Yep. Oh, like people I travel with, I still talk to them. Like I have them on my Facebook. You know, I haven't seen some of them in a long time, but I still like their posts. I still comment, maybe shoot them a messenger message once in a while, see what they're up to, and yeah, I'm still friends with those people.
What's your next destination?
Right now, I haven't planned that far ahead. So right now I'm actually in Mexico, and after this, we have no idea where we're going to go next. We're going to be heading back to Canada for a while and just kind of working on building our business some more, building more structures around that. And yeah, I don't know where we're going to go. We're leaning towards Bali and Southeast Asia for sure. We just don't have a set timeline around that.
Okay, what is the best airline? What's your nickname?
What do you mean? Fuck up. I don't know. Some people call me Dunkin' Donuts, or what's the other? Paul what?
Michael calls you Donuts.
Yeah, people call me Donuts, you know, things like that, because my last name is Duncan. Whatever.
Okay, what is the best place you visited and why?
The best place I visited?
Yeah.
I hate when people ask me this question, because every time I go to a new place, I'm like, this is the best place ever, you have to go here. But I can say Australia was really, really amazing, and there's a couple places in Australia that are like extra amazing. So number one is the Whitsunday Islands. If you are in Australia, you absolutely have to check it out. It has the most amazing beaches, and the water is the most crazy clear blue color in the world. It's one of the most famous places in the world because it's so amazing. It's like you go there and you feel like you're in a dream. And amazing scuba diving. It's all with the Great Barrier Reef, all that kind of stuff. And the next place, I'd say, depending on your vibe and the kind of person you are, I'd say go to Byron Bay. And the reason is because it's a super chill, super hippie, laid-back kind of town, small town on the coast of Australia between Brisbane and Sydney. And it's just a super chill vibe, and everyone's there for the same reason, which is like it's pretty much like backpacking heaven for sure. So those are the two main places I'd say for sure.
And how do you support your travels?
So here's the difference between me and I think a lot of other backpackers, is because when I started out saying that I want to travel, but I don't want to do it the normal way, which is to get a job, save up money, go traveling for a while, end up being broke, and then come back and having to save money again. I didn't want to do that because I wanted to travel and not worry about my money and just have fun and be able to continuously travel for as long as I want. So I went about it a different route, which was I looked for a solution to be able to make an income while I was traveling. Now, originally for me, that was real estate, so I bought a bunch of rental properties, made a bunch of passive income from tenants paying rent, and I used that to go traveling around the world with. And I made that so tenants pay me rent, and I made income whether I was in Australia, Hong Kong, Austria, anywhere, because tenants were always paying me rent from my properties back in Canada. That was the first way, but things changed actually. Economies changed, the economy in my area changed, and my rents went down from that. So I made the transition because I wanted to expand, grow my income more, and I made the choice to start an online marketing business, which allows me to make an income primarily using Facebook marketing to make my income, which means I can run my business from anywhere in the world as long as I have an internet connection. So my business can run passively while I'm on the beach right here talking right now. My business can be running passively, and then I can just check on it every once in a while, grow, expand, make tweaks whenever I have an internet connection. So that's the biggest thing.
Would you want to be a full-time traveler?
Yeah, I've done it. So right now I'm not full-time. I've gone back to Canada because I want to continue to grow my business and kind of do some things, but I was a full-time traveler before, and I'm going to be getting back to some more full-time traveling pretty soon once I make some certain growth pieces in my business right now. So once I've done that, I can relax a bit more. Now I can get back to some more full-time traveling. So full-time traveling, I mean, depends what you want, but absolutely is the way to go because you just experience so much so quickly. And again, the biggest difference is to be able to full-time travel, do it like continuously non-stop, requires you to not just save money from your job and then go traveling. It means you should be finding a source of income, a business, a laptop kind of business that you can take with you and make an income while you're traveling.
And lastly, any financial advice for the beginner traveler?
Okay, so this is my subject right here when it comes to financial advice, because I've not only learned a bit about financial advice or financial stuff for traveling, I've become absolutely obsessed with it. I've been researching it for 7 years now. I've been studying it. I've been doing it in my life and making it happen for 7 years now. So this is my subject, and I've learned so much. I got coaching, and the biggest thing I would say is don't think about traveling as a thing that you have to save up and get a job and do it for a short time for only as long as you have enough money to survive. Think about traveling as a lifestyle, as a way of life to live. And to do that, it's about getting educated on all different aspects of how money works, money in its basic form. And once you learn that, you can start growing and start learning how to travel full time. So I'd say the first place to start would be to pick up a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. That's the first book I ever read to start my journey, and that book completely changed my life. It took me from only knowing how to have a job and save money to realizing that there's different options, which is to have a business, have investments, whatever, that passively make money for you in the background, whether you're trading time for money. Because there's two types of income. There's active income, which means you trade money, you trade time, you give time to your boss and they give you a paycheck instead. Or there's passive income, which means you provide a service or something like that, or a product, and you can make money passively, whether you're on the beach, you're surfing, you're doing whatever, and you're making an income that way. So my advice would be to start by picking up Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki and just reading that and just going down that rabbit hole.
Right on. Thanks for your time.
Sweet. See ya.